Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. You know, I got a lot of new subscribers that have come on board, and of course, I want to tell some of you a little bit about myself. But what I want to do, and the nature of this video is to show you something. This is a 2016 congressional, look at this, district, look what it says, district census. All right, and I explain to you what it is here in just a second. And of course, it's those who somehow, some way that they've come up with that you are part of the Republican Party, and it's also a survey. And what they're trying to do is get a kind of consensus or the feel of what some people are leaning towards in the American public. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. First of all, I'm a pastor. I'm a man of y'all, more than anything. But however, I'm a whole lot different than what many of you have commonly experienced when it comes to pastors. For instance, I live on a piece of land. We call it a community because it is. It's our community. And the reason why we call it community because we're in common unity. All right. And I pretty much, myself and the brethren, we have built this community from the ground up with our own hands. This home that I live in right now, I laid almost every single block to this building. I've literally built my own home. And I've had the brethren help me frame the roof, and Elder Doug did a lot of wiring, plumbing, etc., and so on. The tabernacle, or what we call the church building up there, we built that as well. I guess the one thing really unique about us is that in the 17, 18 years I've been on this community, we have never taken up one offering, nor have we ever passed around an offering plate in that church. Now, how many pastors do you know that can say that? Did y'all hear what I said? Yeah, I've never passed around an offering plate in that church, because many people will begin to say, well, how do you get money? I figured that since people have come from Christianity where they have tithe and offering you have to death, you know the doctrine better than I do. But, the Bible says that the Most High loves a cheerful giver. So I don't have to ask people if the message that I'm preaching and teaching, and you realize who I am, it's a benefit, and you see the changes in your life, you will thank the Father by giving to who you call your pastor. So I don't have to preach and teach on it at all. People, they choose to give. That's just the way it is. All right. And we're hard workers, because you cannot build a community and you cannot contract out all this work, because we simply just don't have the work. I had to learn all of this after I got out of the military. It's obvious I was a veteran, a 10-year veteran. I was a paratrooper, as well as air assault qualified as well, and a few other special skills identifiers, which I don't care to go into. I display some of the veteran things because a lot of the veterans, especially veterans who wore, let me go over here, especially a lot of veterans who wore berets. In the military when I was in, there was a green beret, a maroon beret, some people call it a red beret, and there was a black beret. They've done changed things around quite a lot. The green beret stood for Special Forces, the red beret, U.S. Army Airborne, and then you had the black beret, U.S. Army Rangers. Well, I understand now that they done pretty much made everybody out of what you call commandos and trying to make everybody feel like they're part of the elite. But in order to wear one of these, and when I was in JRTC, I wore a black beret and I wore this red beret, or this, it's a maroon beret, for U.S. Army Airborne, as well as in the 82nd Airborne Division. I had an opportunity to travel around the world, been in a lot of places. So I'm a pretty well-rounded individual that a lot of people would say. So I have a lot of experience. And so I laid all that out so you can kind of get a sense of what type of pastor you're dealing with. I also believe the Bible. I believe that we should keep the law. I believe we should keep the commandments. Now, I understand that many of you in different faiths would actually have differences of opinion concerning that. I'm not interested in differences of opinion. You have the ability to read, write, and comprehend just like I do. You have the ability to listen to them, and make a sound, rational choice and decision. However, it's up to you. I come to find out growing up in America, being a Christian, that I pretty much have been lied to. I've been lied to not only just about life in general, but I've been lied to on every point and every perspective concerning like the social, political, the economic, and especially the religious front. Pretty much been lied to the whole time. So I decided to not be lied to anymore. I experienced a lot of anger, maybe some bitterness there. But I tell you one thing, instead of just belly aching and squalling about it, I just figure I'd do something about it, at least affect change in my sphere and those who choose to listen to me. I'm a truther. I believe in the truth. I also have, I have plenty of enemies. But the majority of these enemies out there, I ask for you to listen to them. Listen to what they got to say. And then you come and listen to me, and you check out the ministry as a whole for yourself. You make the choice and decision. I often say that anytime somebody leave anything, it's amazing. They never have nothing good to say. Whoever got a divorce and had something good to say, or who has ever got fired from a job and had good to say, anything good to say about it. We live in a very schizophrenic, mind-numb, vaccinated, chemical trail breathing, pesticide, herbicide, fluorided people. And I tell you, it's utterly appalling to me and amazing what has happened to us. But that's just a little summary about me. So, but if it's the truth, I will search it out. And not only would I search it out, it makes no difference. It's totally irrelevant if I agree with the truth or not. The bottom line is, it is the truth. And if it is the truth, I will support it and I will defend it. Contrary to popular belief, or contrary to your religious tradition, or contrary to your own personal theology or ideology. It's totally irrelevant. It makes no difference. I could care less about your philosophy. You could care less about mine. But however, when I speak, I will be speaking the truth. It'll be a painful thing. Yet and still, truth is something, a very large pill, a hard pill to be swallowed, but yet and still it needs something that needs to be taken on a daily basis. I'm not going to run from truth simply because I don't like it or my feelings and emotions. No, I'm going to conform whatever I framed up here in my mind to fit that truth. And that's pretty much who I am in a nutshell. And of course, I'm very instrumental in developing other communities and helping other people along in this life, because I found one of the greatest secrets of life is to give of yourself. But also, when you do good, here's the biggest key right here. Know to whom you do good to. Because I've done good to a lot of people and received nothing but crap in return. As a matter of fact, I've loaned people money and with no interest in nothing, but just giving it out of good heart, good faith, good fidelity, only to never receive nothing back at all, period, not one penny. It's amazing how the people presented themselves when they came looking for a loan and everything, or looking for some help. But then, I started thinking there's a reason why the world out here has a credit report and a credit system. Now, I'm not saying that a man or woman's weight or measure is based upon a credit report or a credit system. No, I'm not. Because things go wrong in people's life simply a lot of times that they don't have literally control of. And it has nothing to do with the credit report and credit system. But the world out there has something set up. Before they determine that they're going to loan you anything of value at all, they're going to check you out. Well, I think that's probably one of my biggest mistakes that I've done over the years is not have really truly checked people out. I've done good to many, many people only to be slandered and defamed in return. And the majority of people that slander and defame, it's just like the way this world is. They want one side of the story told, but they don't want my side of the story told, the other side. So, we live in a world where people are inclined to believe only one side of the story, and that's it. And it's utterly amazing because that would be very hypocritical, would it not? To only hear one side and never hear the other side. Even in a regular court of law, you have the plaintiff and then you have the defendant, and both sides are heard. And then after both sides are literally being heard, of course, you do have a controller in the environment called the judge to make sure that nothing gets out of hand, and he kind of referees and steers the jury, who are totally incompetent of the legal system and have no idea what's going on. That is the truth. But the truth is that there's much to be desired in the time we're living in. I was going to get to this. I think I'll get to it the next video. I didn't want to spend all this time, but after all, I wanted to introduce myself to many of you out there who are brand new subscribers. I thought it was in perfect order to do so. Many of you have had wonderful comments, intelligence comments. As a matter of fact, I really truly like the recent subscribers that's come to this channel, because they have displayed a level of intelligence that this generation is lacking greatly in. And I'm honored for each and every last one of you who watch my videos, give me the time today to allow me to come into your lives to speak the truth. After all, you can discern and tell when the truth is being told and when it's not. But know this, you can't do good in this world and not expect evil in return. It's just going to happen. Jesus was a man that did good, went about healing all that were oppressed of the devil, because y'all was with him, and look what they did with him. They crucified him. So if they did that to the Messiah or the Mashiach, they definitely would do that to us as well. So I'm not too much concerned about illiterate people and stuff. I do like intelligent dialogue, healthy dialogue, and don't even mind if you choose to be objectively disagreeable, but be respectful, be tactful, because I will definitely return the same respect and the same honor back. So I just thought I'd make this video here for all of you, the new ones, and I'll give you a little bit of information about the ministry if you care to learn. Every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on online-church.org, we have a live stream that you can actually catch our particular scripture study as if you choose to. You don't have to. You can stay here and just listen to what I'm saying on YouTube, but it's just an option for you. If you desire to learn the truth, know the truth, to walk in the truth, to be filled with the power of the Holy Spirit, and to grow and have peace in your life and understanding like never before. This is the place that we stream live all of our church services, as well as every Saturday morning at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, here on online-church.org. This number over here is the number to our dining hall. If you would like to speak to me or leave a message, I'm not saying that I can get back to every single one of you. While I do have a desire to, I receive a lot of emails, I receive a lot of letters, I receive a lot of phone calls and a lot of notes on a daily basis, and I simply just do not have time to get back to each and every single one of them. But however, we do have an elder here, Elder Doug, that if you'd like to ask a question, you can actually run a lot of these things past him. Leave a message for Elder Doug, ask him the question and stuff, and he'll determine if it's something that I really truly need to give attention to, because a lot of the things he can answer and handle himself. And he is also a very busy man. We're just a different people, unlike people that you've ever met before. We're people of truth. We're people of honor. We're people of integrity. We're people of sincereness, and we're very sincere about our dedication of living set apart and living holy for the Father. But after all, this is the place where you can actually contact us. If you'd like to know more about the ministry itself, then we have a website, and the website is straitwaytruth.com. That is straitwaytruth.com. Now, let me say this right here from the very, I would say beginning, but it's at the very end of this video. When you listen to me and you listen to the ministry, I'm going to say a lot of things that's going to fly in the face of the way you have been traditionally reared. Did you hear what I said? And at first, you're going to reject it. But if you exercise a little bit of self-autonomy, and if you choose to, which I would admonish you to, if you pick up this thing called the Bible right here, and you check out everything that I'd say, you're going to find out that I'm not the one. I'm not the institution that has reared you in lies. nor am I the institution that's reared you in fairy tales. I know what you Christians know. I know what you Messianics know. I've been a part of both arenas. So I pretty much know the doctrine very well. That's the one thing I think about the Father living set apart, because I can actually tell you the truth and do not have to ever worried about what people think. I can rest easy at night knowing that I've told you the truth. And there'll be a lot of things that I'll teach that you will just flat out hate. But remember, it's not me. Don't shoot the messenger. Pay attention to the message. Pay attention to the message that the messenger is bringing, because the message comes from him. Comes straight up from the Father. So I greet you all who have actually chosen to subscribe to this channel. I wanted to say welcome, and also want to bid you Yah's peace. And now we're going to continue on into the saddle. I'll go ahead with the next video and get with this particular document right here, okay? Y'all have a wonderful day. The King is coming.